It started as a stupid joke. One of those things you do in the moment, thinking everyone will laugh about it later. But no one's laughing now. My husband, Daniel, was always the goofy one in our group. He'd crack jokes at the wrong time, interrupt serious talks with silly impressions, and sometimes embarrass me in front of friends. Still, he had a good heart. He'd never hurt anyone. So when our friend group decided to go on a weekend camping trip, I figured maybe we'd all just relax and enjoy the quiet for once. On the second night, we sat around the campfire. Daniel was being, well, Daniel. He kept telling corny ghost stories and pretending to hear noises in the woods. Our friend Mike rolled his eyes. Man, you'd freak out if we left you out there alone. Everyone laughed. Then Mike grinned. Hey, what if we did? Just for a minute. See how long before he screams. I laughed too. He'd probably cry before he made it 10 feet. Daniel smirked. Haha, you guys are hilarious. But when he went to grab firewood, Mike whispered, let's do it. We'll drive down the road and come back in 10 minutes. I hesitated. Mike, that's mean. It's a joke, Sarah. He'll laugh too. And like an idiot. I agreed. When Daniel returned, we were gone. We'd packed the tents and driven a few miles down the forest road, giggling like teenagers. Mike set a timer. 10 minutes. Then we'll pick him up. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. We drove back, headlights slicing through the trees. But Daniel wasn't there. Maybe he's hiding, Mike said, trying to get us back. We called out. No answer. I pulled out my phone. No signal. My stomach twisted. This isn't funny anymore. We searched the area for hours. Nothing. By morning, panic set in. We called the ranger station. Search teams came. Drones, dogs, the works. They found his flashlight by a creek. Cracked. No footprints after that. Days passed. No sign of Daniel. The police eventually called it an unresolved disappearance. I called it a nightmare. Mike stopped coming around. The others avoided me. And every night, I heard Daniel's voice in my head, laughing, the way he used to. Until one night, I heard something else. It was almost 7 months later. I'd moved back to my parents' old house, trying to start over. That night, I heard tapping on the window. Slow. Rhythmic. I froze. Then a voice, low, hoarse. Sarah. I turned toward the sound, and my heart nearly stopped. Daniel stood outside. Thinner. Pale. Eyes hollow like he hadn't slept in months. I ran to the door, tears spilling down my face. Oh my God, Daniel. You're alive. He didn't hug me back. He just stood there, staring. You left me, he whispered. I know. It was stupid, we were joking. He cut me off. You laughed when I screamed your name. My blood went cold. How do you know that? I whispered. He smiled faintly. Because I could still hear you laughing when the truck drove away. He told me he'd tried to follow the road back but got lost. Said he'd survived by eating roots and rainwater for days, until some hikers found him. But the more he talked, the more I realized something was wrong. His eyes, too wide. His voice, too calm. He said things he couldn't have known. Private conversations I'd had after he vanished. And when he walked around the house, he stopped at the exact spots I'd cried in. Like he'd been there all along. That night, I woke to the sound of the front door creaking. Daniel was gone. I found him outside, standing by the tree line, whispering. Why did you leave me, Sarah? Why didn't you come back sooner? I tried. I cried. We searched for days. He turned, and for the first time I saw it. A long scar running down his temple, pale against his skin. Days, he repeated quietly. Do you know how long a night lasts out there? I backed away. Daniel, you need help. He smiled again. No. You do. And then he walked into the woods. I called the police the next morning. They searched. Again. No footprints. No trace. When they checked the hiker rescue reports, there was no record of anyone named Daniel being found. The ranger said softly, "Ma'am, we never recovered a body, but we also never had a rescue." I just stared at him. But I saw him. I talked to him. He looked down. Sometimes grief makes us see things we can't accept. Maybe he was right. But every night since, around 3 a.m., I still hear the tapping on the window. 3 slow knocks. And then a whisper. Soft, familiar, and broken. "You left me."